Hello everyone! Some very interesting leaks in a pipeline channel on Discord about 4.9. Weapon damage changes, reduced penetration distance by 80 to 97%, replaced penetration cone with an extremely thin cylinder, aka no shatter. And there are two spreadsheets. Ship quantum fuel changes spreadsheet. I made a new spreadsheet about the quantum tanks and drive changes. And we have ship weapon penetration changes spreadsheet. And here's the spreadsheet for weapon penetration changes I promised. As always, this is an EPTU build and it's extremely likely to change. Yeah, please keep this in mind. This might not go to life like that. I still find it interesting enough to talk about it. Let's take a look at the spreadsheets. Links to the spreadsheets are in my first pinned comment below. Ship, quantum drive size, old quantum tank, new quantum tank. You can see most ships have now far less quantum fuel. Only a few ships have a bit more. For example, Argo Moth and Argo Raft. And Ares. And Grace Schiff. Okay, MISC Freelancer has now more quantum fuel than a MISC Dur. Yeah, like I mentioned, this is an early EP2 build. This will not go to life like that. And I won't go into much detail because things are still in motion. And at this rows, the color coding failed. Old consumption, new consumption. It's mixed. Some quantum drives need now more fuel, some need less fuel. Old stock distance, new stock distance. Most ships have now far less range. Some people will say in 4.0 CIG increased quantum drive distances and now they are taking it back, maybe, but those are very drastic changes. And if you are looking at MISC Freelancer compared to MISC Dur, Freelancer has now a lot more quantum drive distance than MISC Dur, which doesn't make any sense at all. I guess this is just an error in XML and CIG will address this. Yeah, again, I won't go into much detail because I think there are still a lot of errors in this and CIG should address this. Old hydrogen and new hydrogen tanks, no differences. This seems to be all about quantum drives, quantum distance, quantum fuel usage. Yeah, everything is identical how it was previously. And here's a ship weapons penetration changes spreadsheet. Short explanation on what is a penetration cone. When ammo hits the ship hull, on the point of impact, a cone is created. The cone has a height equal to the penetration distance and two radius. A near radius, usually the thinnest part at the top, on a real cone this radius would be 0, and a far radius, the base of the cone. After that cone is created, the game checks for any components present in that cone, and if there are any components, they will receive damage. A radius of 0 still creates a cone, but it's just a straight line. And you can see most weapons have now a far smaller cone. Old penetration distance, new penetration distance, old near radius, new near radius, old far radius, new far radius. Seems like having a huge penetration cone and hitting a lot of components in that cone was not a good idea for ship combat. And it doesn't look very professional if a game studio introduces something that is very brutal and then a few patches later they take it back. This is not what balancing is, Chris. This looks very amateurish. It would be fine to have such drastic changes at the beginning of a game project, but not in year 14 after $1 billion in funding. This looks once again like CIG's typical balancing. Throw spaghetti at walls and check what sticks. And again, take this with a huge grain of salt. This might not go to life like that. Thank you very, very much again, Pipeline Channel, for all the leaks and for the very interesting spreadsheets. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.